Now look at question number 18. Question number 18 is about, if earlier the two questions that we have done was about, one was k was variable along x axis or k was variable along y axis. This time there is no dielectric constant between the plates. You have here a plate whose each side is a, so its area obviously is a square, and the second plate whose each side was a is this time kept making an angle theta with the horizontal. So both the plates have got area a square, a and width is a, here a and width is a. There is no problem about that. But instead of keeping the two plates parallel, if the two plates were parallel, you would have said epsilon naught a square by d is where d is the separation between the plates. This is the capacitance. But the problem here is that instead of keeping the two plates completely parallel, this time the upper plate is making an angle theta. We are looking for the capacitance of this combination between, say, P and Q. Now for getting the capacitance here, we say, okay, let's at a distance x from this edge, let us take a small width dx. So let us take a small width dx at a distance x from this edge. Now this is a distance x, and over here we are taking a small thickness, and that is how much? Dx. Maybe this is y. What will be the capacitance? The capacitance for this small portion would be epsilon naught a. Epsilon naught a, because its width will be a only, but its thickness is dx. Epsilon naught a dx by d plus y. But I cannot integrate if I have got two variables here. X is one variable and y is another variable. So I should take y in terms of x, and I can say tangent theta is y by x. So y as x tangent theta. So putting it here, we have the capacity dx as epsilon naught a dx, epsilon naught a dx by d plus x tangent theta. And if I have such capacitors all over, they all are connected between point Q and Q in parallel, P and Q in parallel, or in series. Answer, they are all in parallel. So for getting the complete capacitance, I should just integrate it, and it become epsilon naught a dx by d plus x tangent theta. And limits of x are from 0 to a. But then in order to integrate this dx by d plus x tan theta, we divided this by tangent theta and we multiply this by tangent theta, like you can see here. And what we are going to get as capacitance, C is equal to, like over here, it is going to be epsilon naught a by tangent theta, it is there, and Integration of dx tan theta by d plus x tan theta would be log base e d plus x tan theta. Limits are from 0 to a. Now let's put the values. The capacitance would be epsilon naught a by tan theta log base e d plus a tan theta minus log base e d. This can be written as epsilon naught a by tan theta into log base e 1 plus a tan theta by d. So this is log base e 1 plus a tan theta by d. You have compared from here d, so this is 1 plus a tan theta by d. Now there is the part of the question is, I can say the result is this much. But another part of the question is, if theta is small. Another part of the question says, if theta is small, if theta is very, very small, it means tangent theta can be treated as theta. This is for small angle, maybe 1 degree, 0.5 degree, like that. So there the capacitance would become epsilon naught a by theta into log base e 1 plus a theta by d. And if I expand this log base e 1 plus a theta by d, the expansion of log base log 1 by x, I am writing here the expansion of log base e 1 plus x is x minus x square by 2 plus so on. But for higher value, for small value of x, x is very, very small than 1. So obviously they are negligible. So putting this value of c over here, epsilon naught a by theta, I can expand it as x stands for a theta by d minus x square by 2, it stands for a square theta square by d square by 2, and neglecting the higher term. So the capacitance theta can be taken out, so epsilon naught a, this is a square by d can be taken out, a by d can be taken out, theta gets cancelled, it becomes 1 minus half a theta by d. So this is the final capacitance in this condition. You can even leave this here, and if you are really looking for this, what will, or you have to prove the final value for small angle theta where theta is negligible as compared to 1. So in that case you can say tangent theta is nearly equal to theta, and we can get this result over here. And just imagine if theta is 0, what will be the answer? If I put theta as 0 here, the answer will be epsilon naught a square by d. That is what for a parallel plate capacitor. When theta is 0, then epsilon naught capital A by d. And as this will have angle, we will have the capacitance like this. So this was a question where you had no mention of dielectric constant, just it was a case of where the two plates and one plate is keeping some angle with the horizontal. Now we'll look at question number 19, and this is a special question. In one way it can be treated as a difficult, but in fact you have learned all the basic concept behind it with question number 16, 17 and 18. You are well equipped with the concept behind, and you can look at the question which says you have a parallel plate capacitor this time with area of each plate as A. I take it, let A be b square. Let each side of the plate be b here. And the arrangement is so that the separation between the plates is this time filled with dielectric constant K1 diagonally on one side and is filled with dielectric constant K2 diagonally in other portion. So over here the dielectric constant is K1 and in the lower part the dielectric constant is K1, in upper part the dielectric constant is K2. Let this angle be theta. We are looking for what will be the equivalent capacitance. See, in questions earlier we have done it like this or we have done it like this, but now diagonally K1 and K2 exist between the two plates. So I would take once again a similar concept. Let at a distance x from here, let at a distance x from, say from here, at a distance x, I am taking a small portion of width dx. But the difference is, in this width dx, over here the dielectric constant K1 is filled and over here the dielectric constant K2 is filled. Yes, it has a width dx. Let me take this as y. So if this is y, this will be how much? D minus y. So here in this arrangement, I am taking a small width dx. What will be the capacitance of the small width dx? dc1 in the lower portion. It will be epsilon naught. Each, area is b square, but here the width b will be used, but this length will be dx. So it will be b dx epsilon naught a into K1 by d. D stand for y here. So this value of lower capacitor, this part over here, just this part, the capacitance would be epsilon naught b dx K1. I want y also in terms of x. So can we say tangent theta as y by x? So y as x tangent theta. This is equation number 1. This is the capacitance of this small portion, lower portion, which has a width dx and was filled with the dielectric constant K1. Similarly, let's talk about upper portion. For upper portion, dc2 would be epsilon naught b dx into K2, but this gap is what? D minus y, and y is what? X tangent theta. So it will be epsilon naught b dx K2 divided by d minus x tangent theta. Now we are interested in the equivalent capacitance. Are they two in series or in parallel? Your answer is they are in series. So 1 over dc will be 1 over dc1 plus 1 over dc2. So for this small portion as a whole, the equivalent capacitance 1 over dc would be, as given on the left, it will become x tangent theta by epsilon naught b K1 into dx plus d minus x tangent theta by epsilon naught b K2 into dx. So this is epsilon naught b K1 dx and this is epsilon naught b K2 dx. and d minus x tan theta, and this is x tangent theta. And then from this result, as we have obtained 1 by dc is equal to x tan theta by epsilon naught b k1 dx plus d minus x tan theta by epsilon naught b k2 dx. I am just writing, this is the result we have obtained. 1 by dcr is x tan theta by k1 b epsilon naught b dx plus epsilon naught k2 b dx d minus x tan theta. And if we are looking for DCR, I am not writing, instead I will just explain here, DCR will be just reverse of it. So if I am just reversing it, DCR, it will be epsilon naught b dx, it will be common, and then x tan theta by k1 plus d minus x tan theta by k2. So this DCR would be epsilon naught b dx divided by x tan theta by k1 plus d minus x tan theta by k2. And here this k1 k2 as LCM, so I would write epsilon naught b k1 k2, and let the limits be from 0 to b. I have taken, instead of b and L, I have taken b square as the area, and here it is dx k1 d minus x tan theta and k2 x tan theta. So one type you take k1 d and there you take x tan theta as common. So dx by k1 d plus k2 minus x tan theta, and then you integrate this part, you will be getting log, constant will be out, k2 minus k1 into tan theta will be here as constant, and then log base c k1 d plus k2 minus k1 x tan theta, limits are from 0 to b. And then if we integrate, we put the value for value of x as b here, we will be getting epsilon naught b k1 k2 by tan theta k2 minus k1 log k1 d plus k2 minus k1 b tan theta minus log base e k1 d. For second, the value of k will be 0. So log base, first we put the value of x as b, then we put the value of x as 0, so it is log k1 d. And then this b into b is whole area, capital A, and tangent theta can be written as also, the whole gap is d, this side is b, so tangent theta is d by b. So putting that value of tangent theta d by b here, I will finally get epsilon naught a k1 k2 by d k2 minus k1 log base c k2 by k1, or c k1 k2 by k2 minus k1 log base c k2 by k1. So that's how you have this expression done. This is all available at text to you. It is just a matter of trying yourself.